I knew it. I knew it. Not only would Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford be the biggest fight in boxing today, not only would Canelo vs. Crawford generate the most money, but Canelo vs. Crawford at this point has become inevitable. Come on, you see it. Ever since the two fighters have been asked about it, it's all people been talking about, and this is why it has to happen. Because I say if. Some will say when, but if Canelo is victorious in his next fight with Jermell Charlo, and if the Crawford-Spence rematch falls through, Canelo will have to accept Crawford's challenge, for the simple fact that Bud is not only saying he wants the winner, but that he's willing to move up to face Canelo at 168. And whether you believe Bud is barking up that Canelo tree for a payday or not, that's a direct challenge from a smaller man. As I've stated in previous videos, I knew Crawford would indeed take Canelo's levels and too small comments personal. We all knew he would pursue the fight even more after that. See, because people have to realize that Terence Bud Crawford is like Michael Jordan. He walks around with a chip on his shoulder and he takes things personal. You tell him he can't do something, he's gonna want to prove you wrong. You tell him he can't throw a football, watch it fly. You try to wrestle him, he'll pin you down. You try to joke with him physically, he's gonna react. As a kid, Kenny Porter pointed out, if you even bump shoulders with Crawford by accident, he would want to fight you. You say he's too small for Spence, he'll show you why you're wrong. This dude will try to fight a boxing coach. Blame it on his pedigree, blame it on how his mama raised him. So if you're Canelo Alvarez, I can see why you would have to answer the call, because people will indeed say that you're ducking him if you don't fight him. Don't believe me? How many times have you heard that Floyd Mayweather ducked Triple G? Till this day, even after all these years, people still believe Mayweather ducked the man when Floyd was already a small welterweight and had never fought at 160. But because everyone wanted to see that fight, everyone called it a duck. And if anything, Crawford's doing the complete opposite of what Mayweather did by not only willing to jump up 1 or 2, but 3 weight classes. Canelo's biggest thing is this though. He doesn't see himself getting any credit for defeating the smaller Crawford, and to his point, a lot of folk are contradicting themselves by saying he's picking on the smaller Charlo, but want him to face the even smaller Crawford. But after one of his recent interviews where he stated that a Crawford fight is indeed possible and that if it makes sense, he's down to it, also adding that he doesn't care who it is, I'm sure it's safe to say Canelo has realized that this Bud ain't letting it go, dog. One thing we know about a back and forth is this: once each fighter starts acknowledging each other more than twice, they're entertaining that idea for sure. You can call it ego, you can call it pride. Shit, call it whatever you want to call it. Let me say this, for the ones who seem to think otherwise, just remember, Canelo's been in there with monsters. The man's been in there with Triple G, he's been in there with Sergey Kovalev, Dmitry Bivol, so believe me when I say that he's not ducking any of the Bud smoke. Yeah, Crawford's a bad motherfucker, and there's no doubt in my mind that his skills pay the bills, but it's like they always say, there's only one way to find out. And what's up with Oscar De La Hoya? You know, he was just on Fight Hype, and he's talking about that if Canelo and Crawford fight, Crawford wins that fight 1000%. Now listen, I don't have a problem with anyone's opinion, because that could be his honest opinion, and hey, I don't blame him, you know what I'm saying? Crawford's incredible. But the whole point is this: if Canelo was still your fighter, would you be saying that? No, you wouldn't be saying that, Oscar. The same way, if Ryan Garcia wasn't taking pictures with Floyd Mayweather, you wouldn't be commenting under them photos, Oscar. Somebody gotta get that guy, because that guy right there is... Anyways, Papo.